I'm back. This is Chrystelle at Vintage Chrystelle at YouTube and Chrystelle at Etsy.com. So I want to show you more of the type of things I sell in my Etsy shop. Right now I'm finishing up this lot for Halloween of fibers for scrapbooking and altered art. And actually you can even weave them into your knitting or crochet work, especially if you want to do a line on a hat, but I'm using them for mini books right now. This is a lot called Pirates Cove. I have several lots that have beachy names right now at Chrystelle, and spelled Chrystelle, and these lots are very generous because they are over 2.5 yards each, with several designer and boutique yarns in them. And I wanted to name this Pirates Cove or Blackbeard because this fiber especially reminds me of a pirate's beard. So that is the kind of thing that is in the shop currently. I also sell new craft books, and I have this one by Tanya Davenport. It's called Plexiglass, and it's a scrapbooking book on working with plexiglass and acrylic. Well, it's an art book, I should say, but you can use it for scrapbooking and jewelry making and all sorts of things. So I normally carry quite a bit of vintage textiles and ribbons and buttons, rickrack, all type of fabric things. This is not real vintage fabric. This was in my collection, and I have these in some Hoffman fabrics, but I do have buttons, and I'll usually put about a dozen, mostly vintage, and if I don't have a vintage one for interest, I will put say like in this lot, this is a newer button, a little bit newer, and it's square, so it'll add something to the space interest. Vintage trim, ribbons, rickrack. So I will have a Christmas lot like that, and can top it with this vintage Santa topper over my package. You know, I put this, or I can sell those toppers to you if you combo me at Etsy. I have stuff off. I'm working on a canvas here. I have vintage, let me show you this first. I normally always have some vintage fabric for sale. This is, I believe, Concord, and this is a vintage piece. There is items like these quilt squares with the butterflies on them, and I normally have things like that to sell in a lot. This one is an autograph quilt, I see, and the person was named Betty Foster, but I was lucky enough to find that. And I find stuff in yard sales, at estate sales, thrift shops, collectibles stores, and it's usually always interesting. Here is a sunflower Sue, sunbonnet Sue, sorry. And that would be neat to make into a quilt. And I am a quilter, so I will not sell something that's not good quilting quality. Usually always 100% cotton, unless it's something that's maybe for a pillow. I'm going to put some beautiful rose, antique rose chintz fabric samples in, and some other fabric samples that are large enough and vintage that I think they would look. This is a vintage Singer sewing book, or Talbot sewing book, sorry. Anyway, I think they would look really super. My idea was that they would look super in like a little Airstreamer vintage trailer or caravan, as we call them in the UK. So this is a lot that I made that was just everything sparkly. This is that wide mesh ribbon, but it's quite soft. There's sparkly papers, buttons, lame. Get it out here for you. Pencils, little stars, beads, sequins, antique thread, sparkly, this looks Christmassy, sparkling trim, and this is a vintage trim that I'm sure everybody would like to add some sparkle to their Christmas collage with. So let's see what else I have here. Currently have vintage sewing lots that are already packed up with fabric, rickrack, my yo-yos, and this one particularly has a center for you to make something that of a machine embroidered seamstress basket there, sewing basket, vintage calico, rickrack, a card for you, and vintage buttons that are stuck in there right now. So that's wonderful. And I currently have lots that I have done of ephemera lots in color, coordinated packs, and I'm not quite done doing them, but you will get between 30 and 40 pieces of ephemera and vintage paper items. And I'll mix up some scrapbooking items for some Dick and Jane type stuff. Birthday surprise, flashcards, all kinds of little goodies for you. Homemade labels, or labels that say homemade. So, I think I better cut and run, and I'll see you in the next video that I make today. Thanks for watching Chrystelle, Vintage Chrystelle at YouTube.